If your team isn't selling the way you know that they can, it's probably not their fault. It ain't the leads either. More often than not, it's something much deeper than that. Good news is this is totally fixable. I've worked with companies in this exact same situation in the past. Phenomenal team, great big goals, but for whatever reason, there's just a little something off. Once we get in there and figure that out, sales start rolling in, excitement comes back, the energy shifts, and it's genuinely an amazing, happy, good place to be. So let's get in and talk about it, because I promise you, you need to know what to look for, and it ain't what you think it is. Most often as sales leaders or salespeople, you get into chasing the money, the dollars, the greenbacks, the dineros. And why not? You sell to make money, right? Well, the problem is chasing that money is exactly why you're in the position that you are in right now.
Get it? There is a darkness inside of me. It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants some walking around money, and it wants to buy some shoes.
So rather than chasing money or dineros, what we need to start focusing on, what we need to start chasing is the results. And there's a big difference between chasing money and chasing results. So in this video, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it because there is a difference in the two, and you need to know it. Marcus, what are you talking about? Chasing money versus chasing results? What's the difference? I'm so glad you asked me that question. So I think the best way to kind of set the table here on what I'm talking about and the difference between money and results, I think there's no better place to go than looking at the sports world, right? So let's get into some statistics, if you will, right quick. So did you know, out of the winning Super Bowl teams, if you look at the quarterbacks and their percentage of pay out of the winning Super Bowl teams, since pay became the new type of structure that is like in the last 20, 30 years, whatever the case, right? Did you know that winning quarterbacks on winning teams have a pay percentage to the team roster of 6.4%? And you're probably sitting here thinking, what the heck does that mean? We're getting real off track. Trust me, follow along. I got a point. So the most winning teams, the winning Super Bowls, the teams that have won the most Super Bowls, their quarterbacks on average are 6.4% of the team roster pay versus the average of all the teams. The quarterback makes on average between 15 to 25, so let's call it 20%. So you got guys out there making 20% of their roster and they ain't winning you championships. Well, if you were chasing money, you would have to assume that the guy that gets paid the most gets the best results, not necessarily because he's chasing the wrong thing. He's chasing them greenbacks. He's not chasing the rings. We got a little bit more to go. Hold on, bear with me, because this is going to get even better. Likewise, teams in the Super Bowl, typically speaking, are not the highest paid teams. So like in 2001, and this pains me to say it because I'm not a Patriots fan, but in 2001 when the Patriots won, they were the lowest or almost lowest paid franchise in all of NFL. Or you take Oklahoma City Thunder, whoop, whoop, when they won in the 24-25 season, they were ranked 20th out of 30 teams for low pay. So it's not the pay that necessarily does the driving. So why are you continually driving for money in your goals? So what do I mean by that? Because you're probably sitting here thinking, yeah, but all them Pats boys and all them OKC boys, that changed once they won. Absolutely. It's like a commission structure, right? They get paid when they win. So more often than not, what we find ourselves doing is chasing that dollar. What you need to be chasing is your victory. You've got to decide and implement what that victory is, and you need to start chasing that thing, because I promise you, the money will follow after that. Are you sitting here thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. How do I get this guy to come to my team and help us implement these processes today? I'm glad you're thinking about it. So what you're going to do is you're going to click in the link below, and that exact thing that you're thinking about today, we can make it happen. Click it. back to the program. Now think about this, the stats and everything that we just talked about right now, that's just talking about their salaries. What about the endorsements? Do you think a quarterback that is winning or a team that is winning is getting more endorsements than a team that is not? Absolutely. If you ain't winning, why do I want to put my logo on you? You want to represent correctly, so I'm going to choose to represent and give endorsement money to the winners. And I get it. Marcus, I'm not an athlete. I don't get endorsement money. Really? Really? Have you ever heard of referrals?
With the Port Commission.
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Foundation.
Brother. Hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Referrals are your endorsement money. So you need to go chasing after the victories, because your victories and your wins and your results get you that referral endorsement money. I want you to start thinking about it in that manner. Think of when you get a deal, when you close a deal, that's that endorsement money. That's that Nike coming. That's that referral phone call coming because you did such an amazing job. People want to be around and recognized with you.
Right on. And he got something to say.
And by the way, Jerry Jones, if you happen to be watching this, pay attention to these stats, because you know what? I'd like to win a Super Bowl again as a Cowboys fan. I'm going to breathe deep now. All right, so what am I getting at here? What do I mean by this? Let's say you're a leader or you're a head coach. Do you think the head coach is constantly going out there to his team and talking about, hey, if you do this, you'll get this bonus money? Or hey, if you hit this, this is how much the owner's going to make? Absolutely not. The head coach is out there talking about score this point, do this thing, get this deal, win this victory, get that big ring and that championship. That's what they're talking about. And why are the head coaches constantly being recycled in and out of teams? Because if they don't get that championship ring, they gone. So what I want you to do, how does this translate to you as the sales leader, right? I get it. Enough with the sports analogy. So hear me out. You need to know the numbers. Cool. Those are already set in stone. But the way you talk to your team needs to be about results and performance. Like, what's their championship? What's the thing that they are driving for? So let's just say, for an example, you run a tire center and you want to sell. Okay, look, if you're not at a tire center, put whatever your thing is. But for this example, I'm going to give tires, right? So let's say you work at a tire center and you need to produce $10,000 a day in revenue, right? That's a big number, little number. I don't know. It's a number we're going to go with. So you need to produce $10,000 a day in revenue. So what's your average tire cost? Let's just throw it out there for easy math because I'm a slow mather. $200. Let's say it's your average tire. So if it's $200, that means you need to sell 50 tires. So what you need to be talking to your team about is not the dollar amount, because when you go out there and rah, sis, boom, ball, we need $10,000, it's like, cool. So that you and the owners can get your bonuses and your boats. They don't really care. What's it matter? What's their championship? What's it mean to them? That's what you need to be talking about. So, hey, as a team, we want to go get 50 tires, because the difference is if they're chasing that money goal versus chasing that tire goal, in all actuality, like, this one doesn't really mean anything to them. Like, it really doesn't. You think it does because it means something to you, because it's what the boy upstairs is bringing to you, and so on and so. Like, it probably doesn't matter to the team. What's something that the team can get behind? That's going to be a goal of a target of a thing. Because then at the end of the day, what happens is when they hit that goal, they achieved it. Because if it's a dollar amount, like, that's always changing. Like inflation, like, cool, it's 10 grand a day, it's going to be 11 grand tomorrow. Like, if it's an actual target, it's something that they can feel like they can taste, touch, and smell, versus a dollar amount on a piece of paper. Because let's be honest, money doesn't actually mean anything. Money is fictitious. The $100 bill you hold in your hand only means something because we say it does, versus a tire on a vehicle just saves somebody, right? If you're like we are right now, we're in a bunch of snow. If they got bad tires, you ain't getting nowhere. It's unsafe and people may be injured. So let's talk about the thing that actually means something. Let's talk about the product in the result. Or heck, let's go back to the sports world analogy, right? If you're the leader, all you need to worry about is go beat the other tire center, right? Just go beat the other stores next to you, whether that's within your own company or stores across the street. Just beat them. Because if you beat them, you're probably doing okay. If you win every single day against the other guy, that's the goal. Because again, in sports, they don't probably go out and, hey, this is how many touchdowns we want to score. It's like, no, I just want to score more points than the other guy. Whether that's 10, 20, 30, I don't care. I just want to score more points than the other guy. Because if I do that, we win, right? And the same as a salesperson. You just need to worry about beating the individual next to you. Because if you beat the individual next to you on a daily basis, you're going to do well. Money is a byproduct of your results. So the problem is, you ever heard you got to take one step, or you got to walk before you can run and all that stuff, right? So we're always trying to go for the run, but the walk is the result, right? So if we're chasing the money and you got to get the result to get the money, then that means money's a byproduct. So just go for the result. It feels better. It's tangible. It's something everybody can taste. That's the thing you are giving to your customer that they need. You're now dealing with human emotions and connections versus things that are fake and don't actually mean anything, like money and dollar amounts. This is so important. How do I know it's important? Because Jesus talked about money more than he did about anything else. Why? Well, if you want to go to 1 Timothy 6:10, what are you going to see? This is one everybody's heard of. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from their faith and their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. In other words, pay attention to that key phrase, for the love of money, not money itself. The money itself, because again, it's fake, doesn't actually mean anything. It's for the love of money. So why are we constantly setting goals for things that are literally against what Scripture tells us to do? Money is obviously important. I mean, look at the miracles Jesus did that were literally about money. 2 different times he overloaded the boats with fish, or the time there was coin in the fish's mouth. Like, this was absolutely something that matters. Or if you look at Paul would go and build tents to support his ministry. You have to have money, but it's for the thing it does for you, not because of what it is itself. Again, look at what the scriptures tell us. It literally tells you if you chase that, it's not good for us. But for some reason in the business world, we've decided that rather than chasing the target or the results or the things we're doing to help people, we chase the figures because it's easier. You're a leader. You chose to do something that's not easy. So you need to step it up a little bit and get creative and start being there for your people. So I'm going to give you some examples right now about how you can set goals or have conversations with your teams that are results-based and not money-based. They're going to be about money for you, but it's not how you're going to talk about it. So let's sit down, let's get into some examples of how you can express this to your teams in a results format. Do you have one single excuse for yourself as to why you haven't shared this to a fella or a fellette near you? I can't. Or why you haven't clicked in the link below to get set up with your own personal one-on-one? Yeah, I can't figure it out either. So in case you didn't know, share, link, now, do it. Back to the video. Now, don't be sitting there thinking, I'm not a leader of a team, I'm part of the team. Then apply this accordingly. I don't have a leader that talks to me this way. Then start doing this for yourself. But again, we're going to get into some examples of what this leading by results means versus leading by the dollars or the monies, okay? So let's just set up a simple example here. And like before, if this isn't your thing or your industry, then just fill it in with your things. But for this example, we're just going to pretend you're an HVAC company. So you're a leader of an HVAC company. The goal is $10 million a year. Now listen, again, I said you got to be able to take the numbers because the numbers do matter. Like, this is the real world, but you have to figure out how to take those numbers, dissect them down into a manner that is based off results. So You're a sales leader for an HVAC company. You do $10 million a year. Good jobs, pretty good company. You're doing well. You got a good team. You got some technicians. You got admins. You're doing things phenomenal. What that comes to, that's going to be $833,333 a month, which is going to be roughly, let's just say you have 25 working days, because maybe you give your guys Sunday, Saturday, whatever. So let's just say average 25 working days. That's going to be $33,330, whatever dollars a day. So this is where you now know, okay, that's my daily goal. This is where you got to do some numbers. This is where you have to start doing some creative thinking, because again, you got to know how to talk to your team. So let's say your average unit is $10,000 for an AC system, HVAC system, whatever. That means you need to sell 3 units a day, and you're probably sitting here thinking, hey, that's an extra $3,000. Well, cool. So let's just say your average service ticket is $250, so you need to sell 11 service tickets. So now your number, when you're talking to your team, we need to talk about 3 units and 11 service tickets. So you go into your team meeting that day, that month, that week, whatever the case may be, and you're saying, hey, Tom, you had a meeting with Sally Sue the other day. She had a broken air conditioning system. She was going to get some other quotes, but she really needs an air conditioning system because it's hot outside. How did that go? Have you follow it up? Do you see how that's way different than sitting there saying, hey, I need her to buy a $12,000? Like, no, like she has a problem. A new unit is her problem. We need 3 units. You sell that one. Now we only need 2 more. Hey, Billy Bob, I heard you talk to Pam. What was it that Pam, like, and this is where it starts going. You're like, okay, guys, we got 10 service tickets. I need another service ticket. First one to sell the next service ticket gets a big crisp high five. But the point is, you're not going in, you're not talking about dollar amounts. You're talking about the functional product and thing that people actually need. So now you can break down and you can start getting human. The dollar signs aren't human. When you talk about the results in winning, like victory is about people, right? You have in war movies or whatever, like in the Gladiator, it's not like, yeah, we just won all of them. It's like, no, you don't celebrate because you won money. It's like, yeah, we conquered. We're now free people, like Braveheart, freedom, right? Like they didn't make a movie about money, or I guess Wolf of Wall Street. So maybe that's a bad analogy, but freedom, that's what we're going to stick with. That's more important, right?
But they'll never take our freedom!
So you want to really get into this? You want to really know how to talk to your team? That's just kind of an example. Let's talk about what it means to them, right? So are you doing one-on-ones with your team and going over their own individual results? And are those results about what you want and what the company needs? Or is it about them? Is it about that house that they're going to go buy? They're going to go make an investment on their first house. Or maybe they have a family car that's breaking down. They need to buy a new family car. Or maybe you're dealing with a guy who needs to go buy an engagement ring because he's decided there's a woman of his life that he's going to spend the rest of his life with. These are the things that are now, okay, now we can talk about these things. Hey man, how much is that ring you need to get her? Awesome. So that means we need to get you X number of sales. Your job as a leader is to help them find out how to win in the things that they want. You start talking to them about terms of, hey, how much more do you need for the down payment on that house? Or hey, how much is it you need to set aside for that new baby you got coming on the way? When you speak to your employees about who they are as people and what they need as people, not what you need as the boss from a number standpoint, but talk to them about what they need and the result they need in their life and how your establishment can help accomplish that. Now you're really going to get somewhere. Because I'll tell you right now, if you got a sales team full of people, if every single salesperson on your team, whether it's 1 people, 100 people, if they all want to buy a new house and they're all paid off of how well they do, and if you get them all in position where they can buy their new house, I promise you, whatever number you had, it's probably not big enough. You're probably going to blow it out of the water. So if you start focusing and speaking to results and the things that come from the money versus the money itself, it's going to completely change the way everybody in your business operates. I promise you. So before the next time you have a conversation with one of your employees, and if you are about to talk about numbers versus the thing that comes from the numbers, slap yourself in the face.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
What?
Slap!
Redefine your conversation about how it's going to be about the thing that money happens to be a product of. I mean, really, at this point, it's just kind of sad. Like, there's a link, click it, the share button, use it. Like, I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm, you know, really kind of, I'm almost offended at this point, really. I hope this video has been a great help for you. So until the next one at the next time, we'll see you on the next one.